Might as well. We are live.
Woohoo!
Hello. Hello, everybody. After an insane yesterday, that was crazy.
It was amazing.
I am still, yeah, processing it. I think I've definitely processed. I was like, I had to wake up this morning and just get back, try to get to all the messages. My goodness, like it was a lot. It was a lot of work after the work of.
That was
But
so I messaged you during your show yesterday. So I was gonna sing, but I thought about it. My voice isn't great. Smoking cigars all day. Happy
yeah.
birthday.
Oh, thank you
Happy
so much.
birthday. And thanks for inviting me yesterday to on the virtual herf to watch the virtual herf. It was an amazing panel of people you had on there. I mean, you had the legends of cigar industry on there. Carlito Fuente, what an amazing person to speak to. I love talking to him.
Oh,
Um,
I know, right?
he's actually the one of, and again, he's one of the reasons I do what I do. So, yeah.
Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? And you just start. Like, give me a little insight about. I checked you out. I got some ideas of what you do, but why don't you tell my friends what you do?
So, for all of your viewers out there, my name is Ray, Cigar Enthusiast. And what I do, what Cigar Enthusiast does, is we travel the country. We go nationwide and we visit brick and mortar cigar shops to support, not just support them, um, but to support the boutique cigar industry. What I look for is boutique cigars. I look for house blends. I look for boutique cigars in brick and mortar so we can promote those particular cigars. We already know the big guys in the industry, right, Melanie? We know the Arturo Fuente cigars. We know the Rocky Patels. We know, the Padrones and so on. I can go on and on. There's thousand cigars out there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for the boutique cigars, and in doing that, it was, to be honest with you, it was really the way this all came up was in conversation with two people and that I'm friends with. One
Yeah.
is a Air Force Command Sergeant Major, who him and I spoke sitting at a cigar lounge last year, herfing, and he told me
The
in
word
a
hurt.
conversation, he just told me it was real simple: don't waste time, right? Don't waste time. I told him what I want to do with my life as far as opening up a cigar lounge one day, visiting lounges, smoke cigars everywhere I can. Um, but I was afraid to. I was afraid to open up a lounge. I'm afraid to take that next step because I'm so comfortable. Right? We all live in this comfort bubble, sitting at home, and I got to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I did.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and then last year, I spoke to Carlito at Great Smoke, and when he came in and went through shaking everyone's hands, me and him sat down for about 30 minutes and just talked. And
Yeah.
I was at that particular day, I was there repping for Cigars for Warriors, and I was on the stage all day, between every song, promoting Cigars for Warriors, collecting donations for them, um, working with Robert. And when me and Carlos sat down, he told me what a great job I was doing, and he loved me speaking up there, and we started talking about me working at a cigar shop, owning a cigar shop, creating my own cigar, and so all the things I want to do. He tells me one thing: anything you need. He goes, I love you and I want to help you. Just ask. He's like, you have a great personality. You can do it in this industry, right? He goes, you can do this. You can do it. Don't be afraid. Just do it. Call me when you need help. And then like an idiot, like most of us, I'm like, yeah, I'll open up a shop, Carlito, and I'll sell all your cigars. He goes, don't even worry about that. You don't have to have my cigars. I don't care. I just want to help you. You're a great guy. And
That's awesome.
having that backing, that feeling in my heart, in my soul, that one of the people that I look up to in the cigar industry just patted me on the back. He's like, Ray, you've got a great idea. Go for it. Gave me the strength, the motivation to do it, to get out there and just say, you know what? I want to
You know,
do
that's
this.
funny. You're so funny. That is funny actually because it's almost like somebody just has to say like, and it's not some and being a parent, it's kind of that way too. You're thinking that,
Yeah,
hey, I'm gonna be able to like, I want to tell my child everything that she needs to do because it's like I made all those mistakes. Don't do it, But then they
right.
don't want to listen. But now somebody else walks along and says it, and it's like, oh, you know what? They have a great point.
Isn't that funny how that happens? I mean, look at you, Mel. I've been friends with you for I don't know how many. I want to say 2 years through Facebook. I've been following you, watching you grow, and this year during COVID, when everyone's at their worst, right? Everyone's online. You see the online cigar reviewing, blowing up. Everything online is just blowing up because of COVID. And then here
Yeah,
here you are, from posting your video, smoking cigars, sitting in the pool, to being to working with the professors,
yeah, right.
right?
It's
And changed. Doesn't it just change you as a person?
Oh, completely. Absolutely. I mean, every experience that I've had, you know, I think it's actually making me a better person. I think that's the cool part about it
I
because it's
agree. Yes,
actually, yeah, it's a lot of work. And obviously, the Fuente family is very, um, you want to just be the best for them,
you
So,
do. Well, you want to
so
honor them,
exactly. There's,
you
thank
know.
you. That's what I
Yeah,
was
no, I
trying to get.
agree. I totally agree. And you were invited on to the professors by who was it?
Jeremiah.
Oh,
Jeremiah was the one
Jeremiah.
here. Yeah.
I-
Now,
I've I've never had the opportunity to speak to Jeremiah. I hope one day I do.
yeah, he's awesome. He's such a sweetheart and also an incredible motivator. Like he can, just send I mean the way that he talks and the way that he shares his stories are just incredible. I'm afraid that I'm frozen. I hope that I'm not frozen. Oh, no.
On my screen, you are frozen, but it's
Wow.
not. It's you look beautiful, Melanie.
Okay, but I think that I don't want to be frozen. Is that
You're. It's like you're going back and forth a little bit.
oh, this is weird. Okay, so I'm not sure. Okay, so anyways, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so uh, yes, it all does change you, of course, every experience. Not only that, but the mentors that I'm around, I'm getting to watch them, listen to them,
Right.
take their advice. I get to ask questions. She's moving again. Okay, great. I'm moving. I don't know what's going on with my internet. Oh, I know what the problem is. So last night I didn't have any internet at my house. I was so sad because I wanted to like share. I was like, we were at home, and I'm so glad that I did not broadcast the show from my house because that would have been a disaster. But they put in new, what do you call them, fiber optics in our neighborhood. So
Right.
life is going to be good soon, as soon as they get it all fixed.
It's
But
funny because I was actually in Naples. Uh, I think maybe 2 months ago, June, maybe in June or July. I was in Naples and I thought about. I was like, you know what? Let me reach out. I'm doing a couple of shows there. I had 3 shops to visit, and I said, let me call Melanie and ask her to come on with me. And I got nervous. Jessica was like, yeah, call her. Oh my God, that would be great. And because we sit here and we watch you on Facebook and on Instagram, and
Aw.
she's like, that'd be amazing to get her on. She goes, you know her? I was like, yeah, I've known her for years. I said, but it's just through Facebook. I was like, let me reach out to her, and I got cold feet. And then so I did my shows, and then 3 weeks later, you did a show from one of the shops I was in, Freedom Cigars.
Oh, I love Randall.
Right?
Wow,
Randall's a great guy.
that was a great experience for me just to get to interview him was
Right?
fun. It was
Yeah.
he's
He's a great guy, very knowledgeable with his background in cigars, but with we're wine drinkers here at home. So with his wine
oh yeah, he
experience,
did
we got to
say.
talk a lot about wine. Yeah.
Yeah, he told me a lot about that too. That was really interesting. He was really fun. That was a great day. I got to go back down there and smoke another one, some more of those cigars too. The
I've got
mm,
him. I've got another.
what's
Oof,
it? What's it
I
called?
bought a lot.
Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu cigars. Yeah. Yeah. He sponsors the show. He was sponsoring the show for a little while. So yeah, he's a great guy, great
Picchu.
cigars.
He came from he. If you got,
New York.
I'm gonna go ahead and plug this, guys. If you want to see some excellent interviews of some brick and mortars, go to the YouTube channel. It's by Cigar Journal with Bruce Bush, and I have done some interviews on there. It's a YouTube channel called Brick Mortar and Smoke. You guys can check that out and check out different brick and mortars and support them in
Yep.
your area.
Yep.
So yes, I obviously brick and mortar is very um, important for us to keep. So how do you feel about being the brick and mortar in the new, or not? I don't want to say new, but with
Well,
obviously COVID and things.
use the right word.
Okay.
Use the right word. So Jessica and I, on that trip to Naples, Miami, where we visited all the shops, we contracted COVID
Oh wow.
during that trip. Yeah. So we actually, it was the last day here because we came to Florida. We were staying at a hotel. Well, we live in Florida, but we left Miami, came to Orlando, stayed in another hotel close to home so we can take my son out. And in the middle of dinner one night, I lost taste. Like I had a small cough, but I wasn't really concerned with. But then I lost taste, and then it concerned me. I was like, "Hey, babe, I'm eating dinner and I can't taste my food. Let's go home. Time to quarantine. Let me get tested." And I did. Came back positive. Quarantined for 2 weeks, but I came back after 2 weeks negative COVID. But I held on to the symptoms of COVID for almost 2 months. So that was
Interesting.
interesting. Loss of taste, still had a cough for X amount of weeks and blah, whatever. As far as this new world we're in, when we're visiting cigar lounges, um, someone messaged me saying, you're risking your life going out there and you're risking the health of your family and, blah, blah, blah. I've risked my life for my country. So going out to a cigar lounge to smoke cigars doesn't really scare me. A lot of the cigar lounges we visit, even that you visit, going to Rocky Patel, we're amongst friends. The people that we're with, and they're not sick, and
That is true. That's
I'm not
very
concerned.
that's a good point. Sometimes Rocky Patel's or Burn, I wouldn't say Rocky Patel's.
Yeah,
Burn can get a little crowded sometimes
yeah.
if
I
the
Of
party gets
course.
really good,
Yep.
which is not a bad thing always.
No.
But no, it definitely is better if it they tend to I, yeah, every time I walk in I seem to know everybody, so I'm just not as
Yep.
scared.
Exactly. We feel comfortable, and I
Yeah.
feel comfortable in every lounge I go into. You know, I'm blessed to be able to do what I do, Jessica and I, and visit so many lounges in Florida and out of state. But I've never felt uncomfortable walking in and going, "Oh my goodness, these people aren't social distancing. Oh my God, those tables are too close." It's not even a thought in my thought process. I'm going in there and I'm like, "Oh my God, they don't have this cigar." I'm more concerned with the cigar that they don't have than with social distancing.
That's true. I could see that for a
You
lot of
know?
people actually, yeah.
Yeah, but supporting the brick and mortars is really important to me. So I'm gonna walk into that shop no matter what. If I have to walk in wearing a face mask, I walk in wearing a face mask. It doesn't matter.
Right. Well, and so what do you think is what what kind of, I mean, I can understand how people could want to obviously just support the brick and mortar, but what
Yep.
was your inspiration to start all this, just to do something different?
What's funny is I didn't know that there were so many. Um, it wasn't until maybe my third episode, and I don't do episodes like mine. If you see my shows, they're not episode one, two, three. I'm just, it might be a date if I'm lucky to write something, or if I remember to write something in the description. But I didn't know that there were so many shows or reviewers out there like Cigar Journal and in Texas and going around to visit shops. But here in Florida, I've never seen it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me visit the shops. There's a lot of shops. I'm zooming. So during COVID, where the
That was cool to be
we
able to
got the
find
Zoom,
out.
right? We got to Zoom a lot and do
I
these
love that.
virtual herfs. And I'm being introduced to them as Raymond. I used to work at Corona Cigar. So Ray from Corona Cigar. That's everyone. It wasn't Ray Cigar Enthusiast. Ray from Corona Cigar. Ray from Corona Cigar. And a lot of these people never heard of Corona Cigar. So I was like, hey, well, I'm going to this shop. So I'll go live with you guys from this shop. It's not closed yet during COVID. and they've never heard of that shop, or and I'm smoking a cigar that they've never heard of. So I'm like, you know what? That's where the idea really to travel came from. It's that you and I both have so many followers nationwide and outside of the state. I have a lot of followers from Brazil, Europe, Japan. All actually I have a pretty big following, which is weird, in Ecuador, um, and
I'm
they've
gonna
never
open
heard
this.
of.
I'm gonna open this door real quick and see if I can't get a better
Okay,
picture. Because the poor thing. But keep talking. I can still hear you.
okay. They've never heard of some of the cigars I smoke or that we smoke, and they've definitely never heard of these shops. So that's where my idea came from. I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to introduce my friends, my viewers, to these different shops and to two boutique cigars that we smoke in the shops. And that was it. That was the inspiration behind it all, just to introduce other people to these shops and promote the brick and mortar. Where I won't mention any online retailers, but so many people like to shop at online retailers because they're going to get a deal, and that's just reality. You're going to get a deal from an online retailer. These online retailers can afford to buy, a Carlito Fuente line and spend $1 million and not bat an eye. Where
Right.
where your brick and mortars, they spend $3,000 to $5,000 because that's what they can afford, right? Per line. In order to carry, 500 faces, 1,000 faces of cigars, they have a budget. Um, so when you walk in there and say, "Hey, do you have this brand?" No, they don't.
Yeah.
Can you?
What is
I'm
that?
trying.
I don't light. You got to get the light off of it. Oh, I see that.
Can you
Nice.
see that now?
Yeah.
All right, Karen, that one's for you, sweetheart. I'm smoking the K by Karen Berger Habano. It's one of my favorite. I say favorite loosely because I like a lot of cigars, but it's in my top 10 of cigars that I smoke on a daily basis. So I wanted to. So we all shop at cigar, and myself, I was guilty of it for a long time, shopping at online retailers. But then I started seeing, especially during COVID, shops closing. You know,
Yeah.
shops
Yeah.
closing that are normally full. That I mean, just full. You walk in there on a Friday night and there's no seats. You're standing up near the bar. You're standing at the bar trying to get a drink, and they're just so busy you can't. Um,
Yeah. And
and I,
then they.
where'd all those people go? Where'd all those the people that support that lounge go? They went home, and during COVID, they were afraid to go out, and they're shopping online. But that shop doesn't sell online, you know.
Yeah.
And that put a, I mean, it really started hurting the brick and mortar. So it pushed me even harder to get out. I didn't miss a beat during COVID. I was visiting shops all over the place. Still visiting shops. We're not slowing down.
Yeah. So what other? So how do you when you go to a shop for like the new, like the first time? What's your usual experience, or how do you like introduce yourself or get to know, or feel like because it's like walking into a living room every time. You're kind of
It
like
is, it's
there's a click.
oh yeah,
and
there's
and
always a click. There's
yeah,
every cigar lounge I walk into, it's usually the time of day, but you're gonna walk into that morning crew, afternoon crew, evening crew that of their VIPs. They're I don't know. They're, what do you call that? But they're normal guests, and they're regulars. I always introduce myself to them first before I go to the owner.
that's
'Cause,
funny.
yeah, I always introduce myself to the regulars that are sitting there. I walk around, I hand out my business card. Hey, I'm Ray from Cigar Enthusiasts. I'm trying to do a show here. Just want to see how you guys are doing. So, what cigars do you guys like to smoke? They tell me, hey, so here in the shop, what cigar do you say would be your go-to in the whole shop? If they start naming like the Padrones and this, okay, how about the boutique side? Have you seen any of the boutique cigars? What do they carry? I get a feel for them, and then I take a walk around the store, and then I ask for the managers and speak to the owners, and then start prepping to do a show there.
Regular.
A lot. Sometimes I just walk in for off the street, like, "Hey, I'm going to do a show tonight. How do you feel about that?" You know?
So then when you do these shows inside of the lounge, and you just met them for the first time.
Oh yeah.
That's
Sometimes,
correct.
yeah.
And then you do the show live, and and how many people do you usually get on there? Do you kind of frighten them because there's all of a sudden all these people watching, or
not just all these people, all these cameras. So I don't
Oh,
just I
that's
don't
worse than
I'm
me.
a one man show here. I'm a one man team. I have Princess J Jeanette Waddle. She's my co-host. If she can come with me to the shop, she's right there with me. But a
Oh,
lot of
cool.
times she's, through StreamYard, she goes live with me. Um,
Nice.
I am not good at video editing. I have tried. I've been trying to edit a video right now for almost a month. I absolutely horrible at it.
Uh,
I'm giving up, and I'm just going to continue doing my live thing. Um, so
I
what?
can help you out with that if you need. I've
Yes,
actually got it. I don't like doing it. Bruce knows this very well. I don't like
it is.
editing. It is
I,
the most mundane. Oh, it
yeah,
takes so much time,
it's
and
time.
yeah, it's not very much fun. So I totally get that. It's so funny,
I
but
uh, I was editing a video last week. I'm trying to work on this video for over a month, and it's. I'll be honest with you, it's a shower scene.
it
Okay,
showers.
yeah, it's a shower scene. It's me smoking a cigar in the shower, washing my beard. I get so many messages. I mean, and I can
But
show you. I mean, so many messages about my beard, what kind of products I use, what great beard you have, how do you trim it, all, what do you wash it with, what kind of bombs do you use, what kind of this do you use. So I did a whole video on it. And what was hard is that I'm recording part of it in my office, recording part of it in the pool, and then showing them how I wash it in the shower and showing them how I blow dried and how I put product in. It's a mess. Um, I don't know what I did in the video where I cut a scene and pasted another scene in so that it goes from me walking in the hallway towards the shower like Ferris Bueller. Okay, that's how I was going in it, like Ferris Bueller, and then click into the shower where I'm washing my beard. On the contrary, it went backwards. It showed me taking a shower, washing my beard, and then it cut into me walking down the hallway, and I couldn't fix it. I couldn't fix it. It was insane.
I got you. I am so lazy that I perfect my skills so that I can get through tasks very simply.
Yeah, I I
No,
uh, I welcome the help, Melanie. Offline, I will call you, and you can educate me.
I even know how to do it all from my phone because I don't want to get up.
Somebody, okay, so Caesar Cantu from Smoking Lead
Uh,
spent some time with me on the phone. He and him talk pretty regularly. He's a great friend of mine, and he showed me an application that he uses on his phone. So, but because I record all my stuff on video cameras, I have to transfer it to my phone in order to create, to be able to edit, and that in itself was a process.
gotcha. Oh, I think I might have gotten. Wow. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep me from. I'm not apparently having great signal. How am I supposed to get jobs when I can't have signal? Just kidding.
This is
Uh,
what's great about going live. And so right now and yesterday we're having issues at Burn,
Ern,
right, with the Wi-Fi.
that
This
was Rocky's.
happened.
That was Rocky's fault. Well, it
That's
wasn't his
Rocky's fault.
fault.
Rocky Patel.
Yeah, he
You got to
needs.
upgrade the
Yeah,
internet.
I'm gonna
Upgrade.
blame it.
Upgrade. Rocky, I know you're watching. Upgrade, brother.
Oh no, no, no. He would die. He's like, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
But we do need to get fiber optics over there. Like, I want to get data put into that whole place. That'd be awesome. And then I could just, and then yes, I need a studio. We're gonna have to like get a GoFundMe to create my own studio.
Listen, I don't doubt that if you do that, you're gonna
I
get
know.
funded to build a studio. You're gonna do an addition to
I
your
would not
house,
do that.
a beautiful lounge, a beautiful studio. It'll be amazing.
No, no, no. I'll leave that to others. You guys can give your money to somebody who needs it. I will.
Um,
uh,
yeah. So when you were asking me about people, when I walk into a lounge and the intimidation side of it, the intimidation factor, I do get that a lot. So I set up 3 cameras throughout the shops. Um, and so where I'm sitting down, whether I get lucky enough to have the owner sit with me, a lot of the owners, they don't want to be behind the camera.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the cigar shop owners would prefer you speak to their manager who's there every single day, not just knows the inventory, but can um, speak educated as far as a cigar blend, right? And know cigar stories maybe a little bit more or a little bit better than they do. And it happens a lot, you know. Um, so I get to do that, and then if I get a manufacturer that gets to sit down with me, we're behind one camera, but again, three cameras throughout the shop, and I'm clicking between cameras throughout the show. Like even here tonight with you, I can all my cameras are set up. I can switch to
Cool.
another camera angle
Oh, neat.
as
Okay,
I'm doing the show.
all right. You got to teach me how to. You're like
Yeah,
doing that because I need some. I'm obsessed. I want so many cameras. I want like 4 or 5 of them
yeah, you can do it.
set
You
up.
can do it.
But I gotta, and I mean, this platform is fabulous. It changed my life. It changed my
Hmm.
world.
Yeah.
Like this thing is just the way that it works and the
Yep.
way that it's live is so awesome. So,
Yes.
let's see. I would love to find out how I can get. I need to. Well, hopefully, if the fiber optics in the neighborhood will definitely help. And then, of course,
Right.
it's a slow, but oh, and then of course, yes, Mark was just stating earlier, Nat Sherman. How did you feel about that?
All right. So I was in New York last year, and I stopped off at the Nash Sherman shop, and did my rounds like I do. I've been going to that shop 10 years, and I lived in New York my whole life. So when I came back from Iraq, I spent a lot of time in the city. So I lived in Brooklyn. It was just a train ride away to the city, and I stopped off in that Sherman pretty frequently. I honestly, I won't lie to you. Maybe
Don't lie
a
to me,
year,
please.
yeah, no, a year ago, I swore they were closed. You saw their in since they had the merger happen, um, or when Nat Sherman was purchased. You saw that inventory started kind of dying out. I didn't see as many Nat Sherman cigars in certain cigar shops, and that was my first clue to thinking to myself, they're going out of business, or that other company that purchased them isn't isn't in the cigar industry really.
Yeah,
So um, when they closed, when it was announced, I was heartbroken, man. But not just because it was Nat Sherman, not just because they're a brick and mortar, but because the history of that shop, the history of it, that to me is devastating to see. And although there were other brand owners considering purchasing Nat Sherman or purchasing the lounge itself and creating something else there, it would never be the same. It would never
mm,
be what it was. And it's sad. It's just sad to see our history disappearing. It would be like JC Newman closing down on a different
I,
scale, right? But the name disappearing, JC Newman disappearing, that would be devastating to the industry when you have family
it's
owned.
wild that it's just like, but it's not going anywhere. Like they just closed it. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yep. And we all know Nat Sherman doesn't have a farm. Somebody makes the cigars for them. Um, but it's always been a good quality cigar. I worked in a cigar shop, like I said, at Corona Cigar, and people from out of state would always come in. Hey, do you have Nat Shermans? We have Nat Sherman cigarettes, and we have 2 boxes of Nat Shermans in the back. That was it. Um, so they've been a staple in the industry for a long time. The
Yeah,
name, the Nat Sherman brand. So seeing them go away sucks.
yeah. So what's like All right, my favorite. I mean, I did work in a brick and mortar
I don't
shop.
know. I know.
Give a little shout out to Mr. To Vicente of London. They just updated their whole place, which is going to
Right.
be no, it is amazing. We've already seen it, so it's incredible. It's oh, it's so cool. If I could, when I learn how to like add a video in here, I would show it to you.
I can
But
actually, we'll do that later too. I was actually going to try to, you can share stuff on here, but um,
oh, let me send it to you.
you can, so I went, when I was in Naples and I was on the beach doing a show, I was on the ash holes,
Ash.
ash holes with,
Yeah.
with Barry Bones and the crew. Um, I was sitting on the beach, and it was so funny because I had my camera set up on. I have a table that I carry with me. It's a laptop stand, and I
I
set it up
love you.
on the
Great.
beach.
It sounds just
I,
like me.
you got to see this, my setup. I set it up right on the beach. I had the camera in the background. and I had a microphone, headset on, and I'm doing the show from there. He invited me on his show because his two guys weren't available to make it. So last minute, so I had so many people walking by, just walking on the beach, saying, "Hey, what are you doing during the show? Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing a cigar show." And I mean, a dozen people kept asking, interrupting us. And then two ladies that work at Vicente in Naples approached me and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing a show for, assholes in the cigar industry." And like, "Oh, we work at Vicente." And then they came onto the show with us. They took off my I literally took off my headset, gave it to one of the young ladies, and they both had an opportunity to speak on assholes.
When was this?
This was in June or July, and I can look at the pictures. I mean, I have them here on my phone somewhere. Um,
Yeah, that's wild. Where were you? You were in
it,
Naples?
yeah, yeah, we were sitting at the beach. Let me see. Just sent
It
me the
must have
pictures.
been it must have been Rebecca and um
You'll know them. Yeah, I know you'll know them because one of the girls
uh,
said she knew you.
Cheyenne. I think that's her name, Cheyenne. Good evening. Hey Carl. Oh, let me go ahead and say hello to everybody, guys. What's up? Thanks for the birthday wishes. I have to like write a list of everybody I have to thank. I still have to go through and find out who got the closest time.
Oh, you didn't do that yet? I thought you were going to do it this morning.
Oh my god, yeah. The first thing that I want to do after I wake up after drinking, I don't know how much champagne, and Ignish was pouring shots. Like he's like, drink up. I'm like, no,
You
and
know,
it was so weird. I gotta say this though, the tequila, that was like water, but then
no, no.
it was like it was like way too easy to drink. I'm like, this is
Yeah,
gonna be scary for a lot of people. I totally
yeah.
could understand.
Well, Nish knows how
Hey
to
guys.
mix those drinks real well.
Oh my gosh. He had it was fun. We had fun. We had a great time. I always have fun with those guys. Oh my god, they are a hoot. And so it was and so nice and sweet. It was and very gentlemen.
Oh yeah,
So it was good. And I had a lot of friends there too.
I saw.
Yeah, that was a cool night. See, you need to party with Nish? Yes, I bet you can outdrink him. David, be
No,
my guest.
I'll tell you that right now. You can't out. Nobody can outdrink Nish.
I know he is. When he's going, he's going. He goes all out. It's so funny. I love it. Actually, it's great. He does a great job. He's like, and when he's in it, he's going big or going home. I think he went home last night too. I'm just kidding.
Really?
No, we didn't stay out late. We came. I mean, pretty much after the live was over, we all I just packed up my stuff and yeah, headed home. Had a couple of friends over at the house, and that was it. It
That
was
was.
and
Oh,
ordered some pizza, and it was a
that's
great
funny.
night. I don't remember going to bed, so that was a good night.
That was a great show yesterday that you had. Like I said before,
Aw,
that the guests that you had on there to wish you a happy birthday was legendary, legendary. Um,
wasn't that was my I don't know. I guess, I would say it's only been COVID since they've all even started getting out like that. You know what I mean?
right.
Otherwise, you didn't know who these people were behind the cigars.
Well, that's the
So it's
truth. Like I said, COVID's really um, allowed all of us in the industry that our guests, the viewers, even to see the manufacturers and see these people that we always look up to and that we look forward to seeing at events. We had the opportunity to speak to them,
yeah,
and humanize them. It wasn't just,
right.
man, that's
That's
Carlito Fuente. He has this amazing cigar. No, no, no,
yeah,
that's Carlito Fuente, man. That's my brother. You know, and being able to speak to them on one, um, or feel like you're there with them one on one. It's pretty amazing.
absolutely. That's what it you're exactly right. That's what was so incredible is that they were just all there with me. And I mean, you know, Jose and Jeremiah were both in Brussels, so it was, two. I don't know. It wasn't quite that late. That's why I went on at 4. So I went on at 4 to 7. I can't. No, I can't see that. No, I can't see it that well. I have no idea who those people are. Mm-mm. Doesn't look like anybody I know.
When they took over the show, and nobody wanted me to come back on after that. They're like, no, 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 no. Put them back on.
I tell people, I say this to promoters all the time. I tell them, I'm like, you got these beautiful women back there and they're smoking cigars. I'm like, let them talk, or
Yeah.
just like put the camera on them and you guys talk above them. You
Yes,
know,
you're gonna
I'm
get
telling
viewers.
you're gonna get more viewers. And I actually wanted to watch the pretty ladies. I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel the same way.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it makes
I was
sense.
thinking about buying a bikini, and doing a pool video, but I don't think I'll get as many views as you or the other ladies on the
That was
internet.
actually a great thing. I gotta commend Schmokini. She
Oh yeah,
totally at the lookalike contest. Oh my
yeah.
lord, that was
Kim is
funny.
awesome. I love Kim. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she is funny. So, but that was I just like laughed at all the men that were in bikinis, sort of.
So what are you smoking? I see a comment
I'm
on there asking us what we're smoking. What are you smoking tonight?
smoking another Angel.
Angel.
Hmm.
You love those angels. I
Oh, I
remember.
do. I like I only have like one left, and I think I gotta mail it off because I accidentally gave it away as a surprise. Dang it.
Um, I'm smoking the K by Karen Berger Habano. I know my lighting is hard to see there, but
Nice. Yeah, the Don or that is Karen's
yeah,
cigars.
K by Karen. It's
Yeah.
one of my go-tos in my top 10.
Very nice. Awesome. Well, I'm sorry that I'm still freezing. I don't know.
That's what happens when we go live, honey. That's what I was going to tell you. Funny story. I've done I don't know how many videos now,
I'm
and when
actually
I
connected to Ethernet, so I'm curious as to what the problem is.
that's funny. That's what I have to do too now because anytime we're having storms, I can't use the Wi-Fi. Even in the house, I can't use Wi-Fi.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
it's like
so when I first started doing the live shows, and I didn't really have a great setup just yet, and to this, I'm still learning. Every day, it's a learning curve here. But so I went to a shop, live music, food. I mean, there was an event going on. I said, I'm going to go live from the shop, and I invited some of the guys that were there, like Shirtless Mike, Justin
oh,
from.
I remember that.
So
I
that show it had potential to be amazing. I mean, I had Justin from Sheffield Collection who was sponsoring the show, Shirtless Mike, and the entire show what all you heard was an echo, a reverb. So we sounded like robots the entire hour we were on, and I had no idea how to fix it, Melanie.
That's
None.
so frustrating.
I couldn't figure it out. I didn't even consider one time, and nobody watching said anything other than your audio screwed up. Hey, we're hearing a lot of echo. Hey, you're getting a lot of reverb. If somebody would have just said, Ray, lower the volume on your cell phones, that was the fix, the simplest fix. And the whole time it was like, hey, cigar enthusiasts, hey, 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 hey. It was insane. It was horrible, horrible. And it was embarrassing after the fact, but I was like, you know what? It's live. It is what it is. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, pretty much. You just go with it. Keep
Hmm.
going. I
Yep.
am trying to see when this is. Yeah, I don't know. It seems to think that my desktop is. Oh, wait.
Mike Hakens.
I'm like, did I pause it? It just says it's not connected, but that's weird.
Yeah,
Like
you
it's
freeze up a little bit, then you come back on, and then you freeze up here and there, which being on your Ethernet is,
weird.
yeah.
I don't know. So like, yeah, I don't know. So, well, I guess I will work on it one day. Okay, so moving on. I have to.
So, Melanie, you started smoking cigars and you got into the industry working at a cigar shop, right?
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
I mean, you're big. then when you first started, when you were working at the shop, you had these amazing videos of you lighting cigars, always using these the giant tabletop lighters. That was your thing. It was tabletop lighters, the biggest lighters in the house. You were using them to light your cigars.
Oh, look what I got last night from Burn. Somebody left it on my table.
They left you a lighter.
The biggest lighter. I love it though. It's like huge. And so of course it's got to be niches. I think it is. If he calls, of course I'll give it back. But
No,
that's
what
funny.
I'll do is I'll drive there and I'll pick it up and say, Nish, if you want it back, you need to come on the show. Come to the
He,
house.
I'm sure he'd come on the show. You know,
Oh
he
no, I know he will. He's amazing. So I did a show based on Nish Patel because Nish has the drink, the Nish, which you guys are now what he's calling now is what the Rocky. What was the drink they called it?
Okay, so I'm confused about what it's Rocky Cheese because I don't know if it
Rocky
is.
Juice.
Yeah,
So
so
all that is what is it? Don is it Don Carlos tequila? Don something tequila? Don Julio. So it's Don Julio tequila with oranges. You take the
yes,
oranges, you mash
I,
them in a cup, and then you pour that into on ice. You shake it up. You stir the Don Julio, the oranges, in and ice. You shake that up. And then you pour that into a cup, and that's the Nish. Now it's being called. I think if it's the same drink, it's being called Rocky Juice.
yeah, I was confused because I thought Rocky Juice was the drink that Rocky drinks all the time, and I've always seen him loving the Johnny Walker
Right.
Black,
Right.
Full Black, something
Yep.
like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
so
Nish. I saw Nish drinking the Nish last night. That was Don Julio with oranges in it. That was the Nish.
yeah, don't shut it all the way, honey. I'm having some problems. Thanks.
So I did a show sitting in the pool, and one night I was. It's funny because I lost weight. I weighed. I was up to 290, and I dropped
Oh,
weight up to 200 pounds, or 199 is what I was weighing then. So I did a show, just impromptu. You know what? I'm gonna make the Nish, and I'm gonna smoke a cigar. And so I made the Nish sitting by the pool.
you can
Um,
do whatever.
it was such a great drink. It's something. It's one of my go-to drinks now. Don Julio with oranges, and it's fantastic.
It was incredibly clean. Like
It
it was
is.
almost. It's almost like I wasn't drinking anything.
Yep.
I was like, this water. I can taste the oranges.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that little bit of a.
Yeah. A little bit of
I
that tequila, but it's very
feel
mild.
it was very like liquor. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, there's if there's a fire, watch out.
And that really pairs well with like a Habano or Maduro cigar. It pairs amazing with it.
That's
It
awesome.
works. It's definitely something for you guys to try who are watching right now. Don Julio, oranges, ice. That's all you need.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if I can leave you in here with. Let me. I'm gonna see if I can disconnect. I'm gonna let you. So I can try to get this back on.
Don't know if how that's going to work. I've tried that before, and you might end the broadcast or not. What's up, cigar enthusiasts and the Melanie Cisco fan club? This is Ray, cigar enthusiast, taking over the show. What are you smoking today? So I'm smoking the K by Karen Berger Habano. In the comments section, please let us know what you're smoking and what you like to pair it with. I'd love to see it. I'd love to hear it. And the reason I'm asking is because I learn from you as much as we all learn from people we follow online. I love to see what you smoke, what you pair it with, so that I can try it here at home. And to my viewers on the Cigar Enthusiast show, pass it on to others. So share with me, what are you smoking, and what do you like to pair it with, or what are you pairing it with tonight? What's up, David? Mike Hakins. What's up, my brother? Who else is on? David Clark. I don't know if I can't share comments, guys, but smoking the Room 101. Hey, I'm a big fan of Matt Booth cigars, Room 101 cigars. I have a collection and recently purchased the ashtray. Davidoff Intenso. All right. Black Camacho and Grand. Is it? I'm not. I don't have my glasses. Mariner. Nice. What's up, David? How are you, buddy? Woo! There she is. Clear as day. That is great.
Let's see what it looks like on Facebook
Right.
though.
Looks perfect. No, it looks on my end. It looks perfect.
Yay! On the actual like on Facebook. Smoking a
Uh,
room.
I can jump in on Facebook. I don't have Facebook on right now.
Carlito just stopped by. What? Look.
Carlito, hermano, ¿cómo estás, compañero?
He's talking about the Rocky Juice. Okay, let's see what he says. When Rocky first introduced me to Rocky Juice on our first CRA tour, there was no citrus juice anywhere in
Anywhere.
3.8. We fired up our engines with the original hard high octane Rocky Juice, the mix of the low octane. It sure
Yeah.
didn't.
So
Funny.
so that means it was Don Julio on ice, and that was at 3 o'clock in the morning. Woo, Carlito, that must have hurt.
Oh, I'm 1080 now. Ah, yay! I fixed it. I knew it. I was like, I have internet. I know this is like, yay! So that's funny, Carlito. I know. I'm sure I would love to be like hanging out with Carlito and Rocky while they're doing Rocky Juice. Well,
Oh yeah.
at least for a little while. I'm just kidding.
No, Carlito's a great guy, man. Like I said, he's on right now and he's watching, but he's the reason. He's one of two people that pushed me and gave me a great advice, and it's not even just push me; it's that they gave me the courage to say, you know what, don't be afraid to do what you love. You know, follow your dream, follow your passion, and just try it, just go. You know,
Yeah,
so yeah,
that's
all the props to him.
so many people need to just hear that. Just go. It's
Yeah, just
seriously
go.
the one thing that I've kept I don't know in the back of my head whenever I've been doing it, whatever I'm doing, trying to figure it out. I'm like, okay, just go.
Just go. But I'll never
Mike,
forget that there's moments in my life. You know, I'm a veteran, U.S. Army veteran. I've been through
that's
hell and
crazy.
back. I've talked about it live in tears last week. You know, through 9/11, discussing the stuff that happened 9/11, and um, you know, when somebody gives you a hug and they mean it,
Oh
they
my
mean it.
gosh.
They're genuine, a genuine hug, and bring you in. That's what Carlitos did. We had a conversation. He gave me a hug.
Mhm.
It was like the icing on the cake for me. There's certain people in the industry I look up to. I love Eric Espinosa. He's somebody I hold in high regard. Carlito Fuente is one of them. Just two guys in the industry that I really look up to, and it's because they're genuine. It's that genuine that that I look for. You know, they're not being fake. They're not trying to. Um, I mean, God, Carlito, do you remember? I mean, you might not remember this, but we were talking about what you were wearing. We were talking about your cufflinks that day, the
Oh,
clothes you were wearing, who made it for you, and you're like, you know, you probably would rather have been at home in chancletas, smoking a cigar on your chair than, you know, it's not about the clothes, right? You know, people hype it up. They give you all this stuff. Me too. They give us cigars. Melanie, you know, you get gifts in the mail. And you're like, oh my God, I got these great cigars. But it's not about that. You know, it's about, thank you, Carlito. Um, it's that genuine conversation when you can talk to someone and they're being genuine and they're being just one of the guys. That's the best feeling when you meet somebody in the industry that the entire world holds on that, that pedestal. And when you meet them, they're eye to eye with you having a conversation and they're just one of the guys. He isn't, or, Carlito Fuente, the manufacturer, or this, that, and the other. He's just Carlito. He's just one of the guys. That's amazing. That's amazing.
it absolutely is amazing, and it's amazing because you don't necessarily see it. This is not something that is marketed or
Right.
broadcast all the time. It's genuine. It happens, individually, I guess, in individual experiences.
Right.
And I think that kind of, also runs back to what we were talking about with brick and mortar, is that brick and mortar is so important to be able to keep alive because that touch,
Right.
is a type of love that certain people, feel that way and not the rest of other ways. And so
Right.
they need that contact or that
And
personal interaction.
I agree 100% with that because it's the reason we go to brick and mortars. We visit a lot of lounges, right? If you smoke cigars, tell me one place that you've visited in the last 2 years that you haven't gone on your phone, Googled cigar lounges in the area, whatever, and tried to find a cigar lounge. It doesn't matter where you are. You're going on vacation, and on everywhere you go, every city, every state, you're looking for a cigar lounge. You're not just
Mhm.
looking for cigars because you, like me, I'm sure you carry a humidor with you everywhere you go that's packed with 15 plus cigars. I know I do, but I still look for a cigar lounge because I want to be able to sit down with other cigar smokers and herf. I want to feel that camaraderie. I want to have a nice conversation. I want to be able to sit back and relax. Right?
It's yeah, it's an experience. I
Yeah,
think that's the biggest
that's
thing
it.
is that, cigars are spending time with people and people are people, but there's this relationship that happens that creates an
Right.
experience that is unlike anything else. And
Yeah.
it is something that people love that they can actually choose to spend their time doing, with other people to be able to you know what? I was told when I first started working in a cigar lounge, they said, well, one of my good friends said, it was actually, he's a very successful good friend, and he just was like, helping me out with business advice. And he says, well, you know what? I think that's a good idea that you work in that cigar lounge. I was like, really? I was like, I don't smoke. He's like, well, every great deal goes down in a cigar lounge.
Ain't that the truth? And it's funny you said that. You said you don't smoke. I remember that you didn't smoke a lot because you have asthma.
Yeah, yeah, I grew up with asthma, and
Yeah.
I still I don't have as many problems, but I used to send my parents, summer every family vacation, we'd end up in the emergency room with pneumonia.
Yeah, I remember. Look, I've been following you a long time and I listen. That's the key is I listen. And that's one of the things you said once was that you don't smoke a lot because you do have asthma,
Mhm.
And then out of no then again, COVID happened and I haven't seen you put down a cigar.
I know last night I smoked 2 cigars during that event. I was like,
There
"Whoa."
it is. There it
They
is.
were good though. You know what? And so now I'm trying bourbon. So my bourbon, the Ragged Branch company's awesome, and the bourbon is awesome. All my
Nice.
friends, everybody loves it. Um, and it's so funny because the guy I'm working with, he's like, "You're gonna come around eventually. I know it.
Mhm.
You're gonna love it." I'm like, "Gee." But it is great. So, well, you know what? I think that we are about out of time.
All right.
So Ray, I really appreciate you. Like this is awesome. I think I could sit on an hour with like you every Wednesday.
Anytime, anytime. I appreciate you having me on, Melanie. It's honestly a pleasure and an honor to be able to sit down with you finally and speak one on one. I love you. Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm gonna go ahead. So Ray, why don't you go ahead and like give us a little detail about your
Yeah.
this is your website.
So cigar-enthusiast.com, guys. So what this website is for, I obviously have the shirts and that's all promotions for cigar enthusiasts, but you'll find humidors, cutters, lighters on there. And I built that website specifically for the viewers and for the newer smokers, right? They have so many websites online, where to go, where to purchase things. There's a one-stop shop. And if you don't find something on there, because I don't carry a lot of stuff, just ask. I can direct you to where you're going to get the best deals. All right.
Oh, that's so
So
awesome.
yeah,
I peeped into there and you actually had a cute little shirt, so I'm probably gonna have to like grab a
you
couple of
tell me
things.
which one you want, Mel, and I'll send it your way.
Ooh, okay. Does it have cigar enthusiasts on it?
It
That'd
door
be
sure
awesome.
does. Get it to you in pink.
Yes. Okay, I'm in now. Totally. Totally sold. Okay, well, I appreciate everybody who has signed on and listened, guys. Thank you, Carlito, for joining in, and thank you, everybody else, because we appreciate every single one of you. And I will be back on Friday, this Friday, so you guys can catch the Friday Fuente Friday giveaway. And it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to come up with a new game to play on Friday. I don't know, maybe a new trivia or some sort. But anyways, Ray, let's definitely talk later. And why don't you go
Yes.
ahead and sign out?
All right, you guys take care, guys. Thank you so much, Mel.
Thank you. Well, I didn't mean sign out. I meant like like give your like say bye.
Oh, so my normal goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for all your support to Melanie and myself, Ray Cigar Enthusiasts. Stay classy, stay smoky. See you next time.
Great. Bye. Thank you, Ray. That was awesome. Oh, now it's gonna take forever to. uh, Uh,